Hey everyone, it's Stewart with the Quinn Stewart Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, and today we are going to talk about what is important to baby boomers as they buy and sell real estate, so stay tuned. So today's topic is what is important to baby boomers when they go to buy and sell real estate these days. A huge population right now is baby boomers. There's 10,000 baby boomers retiring every single day. And I can attest that that's very true because in my field, selling real estate, we get a lot of our client base that come to us and they say, we're ready to downsize, we're ready to relocate, we want to be closer to grandkids, we don't want this cost of living so much, we want to get a one level. There's all these elements that go into it, and it's a very, very common conversation that we have with clients probably on a weekly basis, is getting them prepared and strategizing for that next move and what is in their best interest. So let's break it down a little bit as to why this generation is so important. First of all, this generation has been a big population of homeowners. So many baby boomers have bought and sold many homes in their life. Some of them have lived in their homes for a very long time. They've raised their families there. And a lot of times we find that they do not want the big house anymore. They don't want to maintain and manage it. They're tired of dealing with landscaping. They don't want the upkeep. Usually they're in the house and it's, just a couple of people or less in the home at this point. And so they're just looking to just create a less in their life to deal with. And so they come to us and say, hey, we want to downsize. We don't want the big house with the big yard anymore. We want one level. And I think I've shared this probably a gajillion times with you guys that one levels are where it's at right now. I wish we were making more of them here in the Portland metro area like they do in some states, but we just have a limited supply of them. And so they go pretty quickly and they're in hot demand. And so I can share more about that later. But one levels or masters on the main, or the other factor we're seeing huge about, and I've talked about this before as well, is generational living. We have more and more families coming together with mom or dad or both and choosing to buy the house that allows for both families to live in it so that the cost of living is reduced and they don't have to worry about parents and grandchildren, babysitting, all that stuff. So we see a lot of that happening in our environment. Baby boomers typically look at areas that are cost effective for their situation. So we have people that literally could not afford to rebuy their house when they go to sell it. So they look to us and say, where can I go in the Portland metro area and beyond to actually afford a house that's less in size, but it's not breaking the bank? And so we share a lot of little areas that we know of. There's not a ton of them. So Portland is not an area that has a ton of 55 or older communities, and some of them are quite expensive. So we try to help people facilitate what is a good location to look at that may or may not be quite the area you're thinking about, but does have some really good affordable options. The other thing they think about is their tax situation. Does it make sense for them to downsize and go buy something else? Should they just rent something locally? Do they want to live in a condo versus a house? These are all things that we have discussions about pretty regularly because lifestyle becomes a big part of it. They want to get rid of the house responsibilities, but sometimes they just don't want to own anymore. They just want to be able to pay the rent and go frolic around with friends and do their hobbies or travel or be with family, etc. So that is sometimes an option for people, but you do have to look at your situation and your tax situation and what you want your lifestyle to look like when you do retire or slow it down or just want less in your world. So these are just a few factors that we have conversations with about baby boomers. We even deal with another level to that, which are people that are beyond maybe the retirement years and now they're just needing to go into that assisted living area or have another, option for living in that world. So if you have people that are going through their estate and now the children are kind of helping to manage the parents, we can certainly help with that as well. So if you have any questions about anything in this realm, which we tend to get a lot of phone calls about, which is, mom, dad, or I'm, experiencing the need to do less with my life, hit us up because it's a process sometimes, and knowing what you're looking for can take some time, and you're going to want to be prepared for that. So we're happy to help. We want to be a resource. So give us a call, shoot us an email. We're here for you.